This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor. And we are back. Our next story is also about big orange box store, Home Depot. Brent has the details. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the biggest lead paint violation in all of US history. So here's the backstory. Many older homes that were built before 1978 contained dangerous lead-based paint. Federal law requires special precautions during renovations to protect families in these homes, and this is known as the Toxic Substances Control Act, TSCA. Home Depot's contractor program was accused of major TSCA violations in 2020. They were sued by the Department of Justice, the EPA, along with Utah, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. So here's the allegations. From 2013 to 2019, Home Depot was hired to do thousands of renovations in homes that were built before 1978. Customers signed contracts with Home Depot, which then hired subcontractors to do the work. Many of the contractors that they hired were not legally certified to work in those homes with lead paint. And you need either a state license or EPA certification, and that depends on the state. But in some cases, Home Depot changed its own records to downplay lead risks and hired unlicensed contractors. They changed jobs marked as lead test required to negative on their status. The contractors also skipped required safety steps like containing dust, warning the residents, and cleaning up properly. These issues were found across hundreds, possibly thousands of jobs in dozens of states. The outcome of this, pretty big. Home Depot settled the case for $20.75 million. That's the largest ever lead paint ruling in U.S. history, but they did not admit wrongdoing. They agreed to only use EPA certified and state licensed contractors for all future jobs, and they instituted new training, compliance checks, job site inspections. They also created a process for homeowners to report concerns about lead safe work, and they improved their record keeping and transparency for all renovations.
I'll tell you one thing. Paint in the United States is very different from the rest of the world. I grew up in Russia, and the paints that we use, like I remodel our house, help parents like paint stuff. It was so toxic, and the smells were so like we actually have paint used as a drug. So a lot of youth, like it was a big problem for the country. They would go to construction site or they would buy paint, put it in a bag, and like breathe it, and you actually to get high from the fumes, just like you would do from gas. Or another problem was we had the glue, like super glue, same thing. People would buy glue to get high because it intoxicates you anyway. But after 10th grade, like I was like 15, I work in this park, and we like these kids, like we were the kids who were painting like all the benches and stuff. I mean, if you touch that paint, like it'll not come off your skin, it'll not come off your clothes. So when I came to the United States in 2005 and I learned what kind of paints you guys are using here, like you can pretty much wash it with the water like anything, right? And then I learned, I actually took all these classes, like as a contractor in Minnesota, you have to take the class, you have to do the protocol, like the whole 9 yards. So I'm surprised surprised and not surprised that Home Depot got into this kind of trouble, because I know what kind of contractor Home Depot is. I worked actually for Home Depot as a roofing contractor, as a sub. They don't care. It's all like as many projects as we can get. Like when Home Depot did the roofs with us, they would not replace like pipe boots, for example. They would reuse it. Like no contractor that I know would do that. And they would. So I'm not surprised to see that it was a big violations and they have to pay it. But what do you think, Sam?
It's just another, going from one Home Depot story to another is really entertaining. I just can't believe I feel like most homeowners are well educated enough to know that a pre-78 home, like it's when they bought the
Yep.
house, they would have been walked through it. If they got FHA or conventional, it would have been part of their testing. They would have been made aware that lead's a concern. And so it's almost more shocking to me they got away with it this long, right? It's one, a lot of homeowners don't know a lot about the construction industry, but if you have an old home, potentially having lead, especially if they have kids, they probably are educated on it. Yep. I'm actually surprised they got away with it for this long.
I'll add, back when I used to do water damages and mold mitigation and all that, the franchise that we were working with, that was the first class we had to take was the lead class, and they made it very clear that anything that happens is our responsibility. So if we're having to, windowsills, that was one of the big things about lead back in the days. You'd have lead paint on a windowsill, you'd have a toddler come up and start chewing on it. And next thing you know, you have a toddler with lead poisoning. So we were responsible, like it said, having containment. You have to have negative air pressure. And then the cleanup had to be very, very thorough. So, I also have some experience with programs like this through Home Depot, Sears, that type of thing. I do feel like those programs are kind of rushed. Like you said, it's a high volume. Let's get the job done. Let's get the numbers right. So I can totally see where this was neglectfully overlooked.
And I will add to this because I'm in business today to recommend contractors. So that's what directory.com sponsor of our show is. And Home Depot is unfortunately not the place to hire a contractor. Like big box stores should be selling products, should be selling building materials. They are not in that business. They get a lot of leads. People ask. People, do you know the contract? Like Menards actually do that too. Like you go there, there's Menards actually very unique. You even have there's a glass countertops, and under the glass there's business cards. If you're a roofer and you buy materials at Menards, they'll put you a business card there, and I actually got some business from there. So I think that's normal. I think just kind of like the board recommendation, leave the card there. That's what Home Depot should be doing. But Home Depot here acts as a contractor. And now, if you look at their volume, I think they were like $78, $80 billion company. They're not going to care about small details, and they'll hire as many people as possible. They'll go through it as fast as they possibly can. And now you have to deal with this stuff like this. Adam, what do you think? What kind of paints they have in use in Canada? How regulated is it? Do they have pre-78 rule?
I don't think we have as big of a lead problem as you guys did, just because we don't have as much capitalism here. There's not as much free market economy here. We don't have like a storm chasing industry here. You have 6 insurance companies. They work with like the banks, and and all the storm restoration goes to a few big companies. So there's just not as much opportunity for things like that to happen. And when it comes to like this, Sam said something interesting earlier. Show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome. I mean, this is just such an easy money thing for Home Depot to do, that even with, like we sort of found before, that $2 million fine was 1/1000th of net profit. So this is 1/100th of net profit. Like, it's a spit in the wind for them to make this mistake.
Adam, to your point here, the crazy part is they say that from here forward, they agree to only use EPA certified and state licensed contractors. Weren't they required to do that from the start? What changed? Nothing changed.
It's like they're facilitating a need in the market that's easy for them to fulfill, because contractors don't know how to market themselves. It's a hugely fragmented industry. It's the last dying vestige of an arbitrarily fairly inefficient business model. So Home Depot can just capture a ton of revenue because the competition isn't very stiff. I think that they're wise to look at this as an opportunity to get better and be better. Like, I know that Lowe's is working with Bumble Roofing. Like, we built a AI voice agent for them, and they're not using all like the contractors. They're actually your subcontractors. They're using a contractor as their subcontractor, who is then subcontracting. In the case of California, I think they're using in-house labor. So Lowe's, I think, is trying to be a little better, and saying like we're not just going to go to like anybody, we're going to go to a real business, right? And so I think that you're going to see an evolution of these types of programs where maybe it wouldn't be like a random sub crew, but it would be somebody like a Brent who would go to Home Depot and provide some of that liability transfer in exchange for probably a bigger piece of the deal, because I don't think Home Depot wants to pay these fines forever, but they do want a piece of the action, right? Of the value acceleration that happens to the products they sell. It's crazy not to, especially for 1/100th of net profit 10 years later.
Yeah, and this only covers 5 years from 2013 to 2019. I guarantee you this should be way bigger, but at least they paid $20 million. Do you think it hurt that 20 million bucks for them?
I'm
Pocket
sure
change?
I'm sure a board looked at that as like, well, there's 8 of us on the board, so then that just cost us $2.5 million a piece, right? Like there's probably a board that viewed it that way, but they're also probably doing pretty well. And it sucks because many of them probably weren't on the board when this decision was made. So they're like, but by the time that executive action makes its way down to the front lines, yeah, there's probably a good chance that they're going to do something like this again, but they're just going to probably create more stringent qualifications for contractors to do it. And then subs, like your typical like crew of 5, probably won't see that opportunity open up to them. And they will have to further align with a larger, more trustworthy contractor like a Brent who could land a Home Depot contract, because he will cross the lines that will try, because all Home Depot really said is from now on, we're going to create a barrier of liability transfer in the future. When they said they're going to focus on hiring EPA licensed, they're really just saying now we're going to work on a liability transfer.
Here's my conclusion to this story. You know how Home Depot have classes for little kids, like making little toys. I actually took my kids back in the day. They should make those classes for the contractor. I see big lack of education, like to Brent's point, that we should, like every contractor should know that you wear the mask when you cut, drywall or hardwood floors because there's silica and dust. You wear eyewear, you do this, you do that, you test windows that, pre-78, asbestos, if you see it, if a house built in 1920s. It's just lack of education, and Home Depot is a powerhouse, and instead of educating kids, they can start educating contractors. So that's how I see the story. When we come back after the break, we're going to switch to Lowe's. And we're going to answer this question. Is Lowe's sneaking extra items into your basket? Do not go anywhere.